Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, and I'm a New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and I'm also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I'm so excited to be speaking with a friend of mine. He's an acclaimed composer, performer, and educator. His name, Daniel Dickinson. For more on Daniel, you can read more about him right below this video. But in the meantime, here's a sneak peek at the incredible talent of Daniel Dickinson. Daniel, how are you?
I'm doing great, Will. Thanks for having me.
Of course, my friend. Well, it's really good to see you. And the audience just got a little sneak peek of actually you playing a part of your release concert a few years back. What was that for exactly?
Well, when I was in Jacksonville, Florida, born and raised, a few years before I moved to New York, um, I met a drummer named Ulysses Owens Jr. He was a drummer for the Christian McBride Trio, and one of the best drummers that you'll ever find in the jazz scene today. And he heard me play when I was doing my undergrad studies at University of North Florida, and heard one of my tunes, one of my compositions, and long story short, it turned into an opportunity to record my first jazz album with him, and he was the producer. And so, in that video, you'll see him playing drums, and so he was like, "You got to do a record. I want to produce your first jazz record. Let's get you up to New York, and record it, and get anyone you want, anyone that you've looked up to and heard on the records. Let me know, and I'll call them, and they'll play on it." And
That is amazing. That is amazing. Well,
so that's what I
Daniel,
did.
that is amazing, and you're amazing. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. You kind of put that energy out in the universe, and it comes back to you. I remember when in my performing days, just how amazing you were within those concerts. I've now been able to work with you as a director and can't wait to continue to do so. But and right now, actually, you're in Georgia, where you've actually been playing more than you may have had in years. Talk to me a little bit about how that all came about.
There was a big band that I used to play with before I moved to New York. And again, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, but this big band was based in Savannah, Georgia. It was put together by a few guys, Jeremy Davis and Clay Johnson, who lived in New Orleans and had to leave New Orleans when Katrina hit.
Mm.
And they decided to take all their knowledge and musical acumen and turn it into a huge Great American Songbook enterprise. And it's sort of a great bunch of musicians from Savannah, Georgia, and Jacksonville, Florida. But when the pandemic happened, they were trying to figure out what to do and how to make use of this time.
Yeah.
Um, One of the things that they did do was they decided to record all their music, and so actually we've recorded like 3 records in the last few months.
Wow.
Um, uh, and we decided to start doing virtual concerts. And at the beginning, it was very safe, and like with people distance enough and things like that. And we were doing virtual stuff online like once a week.
Wow.
And also we started playing outside a little bit later at nursing homes, um, and generally just in different kind of contexts where it was safe to do, and it wasn't like a concert, but it was like outside, or it was distance, or it was people could come in and people could go outside and watch the show, and we would get sponsors through it, and we would get online donations, and we were the band leaders were able to keep us employed.
Daniel, that's amazing. That is unbelievable. And again, of course you made it work because you've played concert halls, world famous, to basements of of cabaret clubs,
That's how it goes.
to jazz halls. But every gig that I've ever either been a part of with you or have seen you at, you play it like you're at Carnegie Hall. And I think that goes, and I think that's a testament to not only your craft, who you are as a person, but you have kind of like this, and I hate to say like an old soul in an obviously it's not negative, but you remind. I feel like if Cy Coleman was around, like you'd be one of his cats. Like you'd be one of the cats that he would call up and knew that you not only bring your expertise and learning what's on the page, but you'd be able to improv your way through a solo if you were to just go, okay, Daniel, take it away.
That's very high praise. Well, thank you.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, you're one of the best musicians I've ever come across. And again, it not only has to do with your craft, but it's an innate talent. And I'm curious to know, Daniel, when did you know that you had this love of music, but specifically, the instrument that you play?
Well, my whole family, I have two brothers, and my parents all of them play instruments.
I love it.
It's great. I don't know if I told you that, but
No.
yeah, it's my mom plays flute, my dad plays sax and some other horns. My two brothers play trumpet and trombone.
Oh my God, it's a family band.
It's a family band. We used to play at church all the time as a family.
Did you guys have a name?
No, no, we didn't. We didn't have a name. It was just the Dickinsons. But but that and I'm the youngest in my family. I'm the youngest son, and I was growing up listening to my two brothers frustratingly practice trumpet and trombone all the time. And I would, I would run into my brother's room and he would play a wrong note and be, Daniel, get out of here. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And but as a result, I kind of just gravitated towards it.
It was in your bone marrow. It was in your bone marrow. And go ahead.
I mean, I told my dad that I wanted to play sax, right? And he gave me a clarinet.
Well, because sax was his instrument.
Right. And he knew that learning sax would be way easier than learning clarinet. And this way I could learn two instruments, basically. And so smart on his part.
And how many instruments do you play, Daniel? I mean, I know, but go ahead.
Well, I play saxophone, clarinet, and flute.
And
a little bit of piano.
And to watch you traverse at least through those three instruments on a stage is really cool. I mean, it's almost like the choreography within that is amazing. And look, I could talk to you forever, but I do want to say, again, for more information on Daniel, everyone, you can go right below this video, read more about him, search him up on YouTube. And Daniel, I'm so excited that you're coming on board this new social media app, because it's a platform that obviously is putting artists first, a new thing, groundbreaking thing, but I love what they're doing. I love the CEOs. They're two of the nicest gents I've ever met. And this is their North Star, and it's always been their North Star to put artists first. And I'm just excited that you're joining a platform from the beginning that not only celebrates artists, but also celebrates connecting artists in future collaborations, not only in the United States, but around the world.
It's exciting stuff. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me to the network. It's really exciting.
Well, I'm excited, and I am so grateful to have been able to speak with you just for a few minutes today. And once things open up, my friend, I can't wait to work together again.
I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.